Hey everyone, welcome back to the Airball Podcast, brought to you by House of Handles. So we've been off a little bit. It has been the NBA off season. We've spent some time away, but the preseason is literally just started. Actually, we're in day three of the preseason. There's been some moves, but we are gonna talk about that in today's pod, as well as our predictions for the season. And a little commemoration for DRose towards the end of this pod, because we do have some love here for DRose. But opening up the floor to the fellas, Knicks and Wolves. They had some action. We had some action.
That was
right.
They called me a white guard. I was just I was shocked.
Yeah. The biggest move I'd say of the offseason, Cat getting shipped out of the Knicks, Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo moving over to the Wolves.
Don't forget Keita Bates-Diop.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Keita Bates-Diop and whatever trash went to the Hornets as well. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Make the deal work.
Part of it.
Fellas, I'm gonna open the floor to you guys. What do we got to say?
Shall I throw it up to our...
Firstly, do we think it was a win-win trade, a win-lose trade? Let's go with who's got the short end of the stick.
I think in the short term, I think the Wolves have the short end of the stick. I think fitting in Randall to a core that was playing pretty well, mind you, went to the postseason. And they don't play similar games as well. Randall and Cat. And that's going to be a bit hard to start off the season and get the ball going on that. And I think the Knicks get a really easy player to fit into a system. Shooting big, he can rebound, he can block shots, play positional defense. I don't know about that. But yeah, I think the Knicks to come away as short-term winners for sure.
I feel like losing Dante was pretty big. He's coming off a career season. Like, I don't know, like Mikal Bridges isn't going to help his space to floor any better.
He's not a horrible shooter.
But like, I think Dante finished the season like 44% from three.
I agree.
Something insane. And like, I don't know, to give him to Minnesota, who needs more shooting, is like not great for the Knicks. But yeah, I feel like that's my only take about it.
I agree. I mean, Dante DiVincenzo set a Knicks record for three-pointers made last year. He was putting up 10 attempts a game, which I think on a team like that, you need someone who's willing to put in the frequency.
Yep.
And I'm not sure Mikal does that. I mean, maybe the hope is that Miles McBride, Deuce McBride, whatever you want to call him, he's also a 40% three-point shooter, and maybe the Knicks look at him as the guy to step up and maybe pick up some of that frequency. But I love DiVincenzo because he just makes winning plays. Like, he's a hustler. He's an impact player on the court.
Elite defender.
Elite defender. Great guy. Like, any team would die to have a player like him, especially for the number that he signed on. So the Wolves getting him in the trade, like, obviously he was the piece that probably made this trade turn.
Yeah.
Because Randall was most likely being shopped the entire offseason, as we saw all the posts about him being disgruntled and whatnot. But we spoke about this a little bit at the start of the pod, and I agree. Like, the Randall fit is interesting. He clogs the paint a little more. He shoots 30% from three, 31 or 32% from three, versus a guy who's shooting 40%.
Yeah.
So as a kick-out threat compared to what Cat was doing, clearly not the same guy. But, and this is what I initially thought when the trade happened, is that you're trading a guy who everyone has this underlying opinion of Cat of being a bit of a bitch, and not really a guy you want to trust. Whereas Randall, although being inefficient, he is a dog. And you put two dogs in a kennel and you will see what happens. So Ant and Randall, I think, from a chemistry standpoint and the way that they work, already the clip came out of them being the last two guys on the court, during training camp. Like, I think that's something that will potentially reflect, and maybe that's the vision that Tim Connolly sees with bringing a piece like that. Because they're dogs. And I think personally that whatever they showed last year was never going to be enough for them to get over the hump. Like, I could never see it. Like, pieces around them, they didn't have the wiggle room. And, getting onto that point, we spoke about this a little bit before the pod. But I think the reason this deal happens is because the Knicks are motivated to get Cat, and we'll talk about that in a bit, but the Wolves get off Cat's contract, which was going to be a roadblock because they have three big contracts on the team. second apron team, no space to make any moves outside of those three. They have to build around those three. And if they fell out of the belief that that core was never going to be enough to get over the hump, then this was the move to make. And you get DiVincenzo, who, is a beast. So,
I mean, okay, I'll weigh in on the Wolves side of things to start with. I think Dante was a piece that they needed. No brain.
Yeah.
Don't have that on the roster, and he's probably going to be your backup point guard as well, until Dillingham sort of comes into that role. Great piece. Randall, as much as everyone says it's a bad fit, I mean, last year we did play Randall and Mitch Rob together, right? Mitch Rob is a light version of Rudy, pretty much the same style of player, and they made it work. The spacing wasn't horrible. The only negative I'll say about Randall in this situation is coming off an injury, and he's a very, very, very ball dominant guy. Right. That doesn't work too great in this Wolves system, especially when you've got your number one guy who is a bona fide number one guy compared to Brunson was. You know, started last season, Brunson and Randall, you couldn't really tell who was the main guy. They both took turns. There's not going to be taking turns, right? He is a second option. I don't know how much he buys into it. And to contradict the Cat contract, Julius Randle is up for an extension. He's got a player option next year, which if he is healthy this year and has a couple of good stats, he will opt out of that and will want a massive payout. Don't think it's going to be that far off the Cat contract, and it's going to be longer than the Cat contract. So yes, you opened up some space, but you've now just got Randle for a bunch more years. Neither of the two are healthy. Neither of the two are very different from each other in terms of what they do on the court. I think the Wolves made a mistake by going for Randle now. I don't think they had to do it. They made a team that was purpose-built to beat the Nuggets. They got that done. Maybe they think there's a better team now in the West and they have to reshape, which makes sense because this roster does not beat a Memphis and OKC, those kind of teams, because they are built differently. So maybe they had to retool to a certain degree, but I don't think they had to make that move right now.
We spoke about this. This could end up being a rental of Randall.
Yeah.
Like it could very much so. Like that is one of the risks there. One thing I didn't consider is that although it may be a rental, Nas is there, and you give Nas another year to develop. You get, honestly, probably he's a sixth man of the year. Like he's a starting ready player. In saying that, look, from a Knicks point of view, I'm not going to predict, what the extension would look like. I'm not going to predict what a team is willing to pay Randall.
Yes,
because I just don't see him being a max value playout anymore. I find it hard for a team to look at Randall and be like, yeah, well, let's give him the full 260 max, it's just not.
The problem in these situations in the NBA is now, yes, a guy might be worth like 15 mil less per year, but you can't throw it to him because they will 100% leave, take the one less year with a bigger payout and go to any other team. And if a team like Minnesota, who does not draw free agents, if you lose that,
you say that, but I think Minnesota are thankfully in a unique position because they have Ant and players want to win. Like people will look at Minnesota now as a team that is a win-ready team. So like players who are become free agents and are looking for a winning situation.
They had KG a couple of decades ago.
Yeah, I
feel that's a very different situation where KG
that is very different.
Was the star player.
And there was
but in terms of attracting star players,
that's what I mean.
If you're already there
was trash.
You're not getting anywhere in the playoffs. You're not attracting stars. But Minnesota got all the way to the conference finals, and really weird outcome for the conference finals. Not what I expected.
Yeah.
But they showed signs of drastic improvements and a coach who's going in the right direction with the team.
Yeah.
So they might attract maybe not your first ballot stars, but your second guys.
But can you say today that they can attract a star as good as Cat in the next 5 years? I don't think so. That's why I would.
Okay.
Not today. I wouldn't have made that move today. In a year or two.
Okay, listen. We don't need to. We don't need to ponder on this anymore. Yeah. But I just think, and depending on what you believe, but I just don't think that call was ready to win a chip. So they had to change something.
Fair.
Yeah.
How about the Knicks side? How do you feel about that?
Okay, I love the Knicks side. Really good. I'll be honest. My first reaction was no. Why Cat? I don't like Cat as a person, probably as a player. really irritates the crap out of me.
Kavan knows it
Oh,
personally. Yeah.
God, no, I'm my best friend. I genuinely don't like Cat. I've rooted against him probably my whole life. But with this new core that the Knicks have, with it pretty much being a whole new group, I don't think Randall was going to come in wanting to play the second, third, or fourth fiddle.
Yeah.
He was going to come in, sort of just take it in his stride and wanted to make it his own, right? And I don't think that's the person you want coming in. We also have a problem with the 5 spot. Mitch Robb is down injured again. Tibbs came out and said that Randall will play some minutes at the 5, which doesn't work at all, in my opinion, with him at the 5 and OG at the 4. Makes us really small. Cat just fits the lineup, fits the mold, fits the spacing a lot better. I hate the fact that we lost Dante in the process, but for Dante, I don't think he was going to get the same role that he got last year.
Yeah.
I think I saw somewhere where he was actually throwing a little bit of a bit about
Yeah, 100%.
that he was in a
Because
smaller role.
you look at that roster, you got maybe a 20 to 22 minute role for Dante to come in, right?
Yeah.
Barring injuries. Don't think that was a role for him. I think he's looking for the 30-minute role plus. For him, I understand why he went. Look, Cat's played with Tibbs, hasn't worked out that great, but he's going to get a ton of minutes at the 5. He won't be the best defender, but I think we've got so much perimeter defense that we can sort of make up for it.
Yeah.
Throw in Mitch Robb down a couple months. We could still run the two big lineup as well. So we got that option. I think it's, again, like you said, short-term win for the Knicks for sure. This salary cap and this payroll is going to look horrendous in about 2-3 years' time. When you've got Cat and OG probably making about 100 mil combined, scary as it may be. I'm so glad that they went all in. They had to do it. They're a, second apron team now, so moves are going to be tough.
Yep.
Right? They spent all their picks. They spent all their cap room. We're probably not too much better than what we were pre-trade, because I think we were 4th in the East, and now we go to maybe 3rd in the East. And that's probably our ceiling, to be honest. I can't see us being higher than the 3rd. But we have a team that can play the Celtics pretty well. All right? And just to go back a little bit, the Wolves did the same thing last season, and they got the job done. They beat the team that they matched up to beat, which was Denver. And I can see a similar situation if we do match up.
Can you even argue that like Cat has more playoff experience? So like, in terms of that, better for the Knicks.
Yeah.
They're all coming in.
Even though he's due in the playoffs, but like playoff experience is
Changes this year.
He's in the East. It's easier.
I think it's hard to match up against Cat as well. Like he's a spacing 5 who can also bang down low. Like he poses a lot of matchup problems.
I mean, he's got 50 points.
Imagine him going up against Embiid in playoffs. Like it's sort of, like it's over. Like he's gonna pump fake Embiid, just drive.
Did we see the footage come up there? Did you see Cat versus Embiid last time?
No.
This guy headlock.
Chokeholded, Cat.
Oh
like
yeah.
And now this is gonna happen every couple of weeks.
So, Embiid gave him 50 last time. Did he?
Yeah.
Sorry, let's include that part. Cat will kill him, but
Cat gave him 34.
Embiid gave him 50.
Can Embiid make it to the playoffs? I will see.
Embiid won't even be.
They didn't make it through the season, bro.
We'll see. I think well for Denal's team. Denal's fantasy team.
That's my takeaway on the Knicks' point of view. I think, again, move that they had to make, I'm glad that they executed it. This is a lot better from the Knicks management side of things than it's happened in the last 15 years, right? Like, we're at least going in on players that can sort of work together, fit together. It's making sense.
Yeah, striking the iron's hot.
Yes, I'm happy.
As a Knicks fan.
Any additional thoughts?
Nah, I think we covered it pretty well.
Yeah. I have one final thought. One thing that I wanted to mention, because I do like the trade for the Knicks. Like, I think I saw a stat right after the trade, and this sort of started to change my opinion a little bit. And then I learnt about the storyline of, so Leon Rose, who's the president of basketball operations for the New York Knicks, was originally Karl Anthony Towns' agent, and they have a relationship that stems back all the way to Kentucky. So they have a relationship, and I do trust in Leon Rose's ability to be a bit of a visionary, especially with what he saw with Brunson. And I started to maybe sell myself a little bit on the vision. But the statistic that I saw that really started to change my mind was that the Knicks, they finished in last place for possessions with the defensive big man of the other team, how far they were from the paint. Yes. So that means that basically any opposing big man was able to sit as camp in the paint compared to and they finished 30th in that category compared to every other team. You add Cat to that team now, and you don't have Mitch Robb, for example, clogging the paint. Which I like Mitch Robb; he's a great offensive rebounder, and there'll be lineups where they both work together. But I think giving Brunson space, and Brunson is just an absolute magician. I could not be any higher on Brunson. Giving that guy space, the Knicks will be scary. And I think that that's a potential, I do see them potentially being better than the Celtics. I'm going to leave that out there, but we'll see how things go.
I love your point, and I was sure the same thing. Only negative I'll throw to that is that if you look up Tibbs's record with lineups, he never plays without a conventional center. So when Mitch Robb is healthy, that man is right back in, and someone is camping again.
At least you get only half the season with
so
you end up second, third seed easily.
6 offensive rebounds, all right? 6 offensive rebounds.
Tibbs is a dinosaur, and he'll always be a dinosaur.
Yeah. Okay, we can put that to bed.
Yeah.
Going into some of our season predictions. Kivan, you're the first one here in this table. Would you like to give us your good and bad takes for what you see this season?
So I'm hedging my bets that I've made in the past that these guys will bring up later. So my positive that I see over the coming season is that I believe the Grizz will be the number 1 seed in the West. And I believe Ja will have an all-NBA season. I can see him making a second or a third, especially when you look at some of the guards in the West. So it's positionless now anyway, so even more of a chance. But that's my prediction in terms of the positive. The negative, I reckon the Wizards will have the worst record. Sorry for the guys that support the Wizards, but I think they'll somehow...
Jordan Poole's number 1 fan here.
They'll be worse than the Nets. I genuinely believe they'll be worse than the Nets this season. I don't know how, but they'll find a way. They will do it. Thoughts on my...
Kavan sold on the Ben Simmons hype.
Ben will not play.
I'm just curious. So Grizzlies number 1 seed because of Zach Edey, right? Because he's going to set those pick and rolls and really help.
Yeah, right.
And Ja Morant,
that unicorn.
What's the difference
maker, my friend? What's the difference?
I'm hedging my bets, boys. Nah, Edey sucks. He's not going to play. He'll be injured before halftime. Don't worry. Half season.
Oh, yeah, nice. We'll have Jaren Jackson playing the 5. Can't wait.
Yeah, that's really going to put us
You're good
for a 7 seed.
You just made the point about defenders being further away from the basket. You want Ja. You want Fat Edey in the middle.
Yes.
You want Fat Edey saying those
Edey is Canadian Steven Adams, all right? That team was pretty damn good, so I'm taking it and running. And not to mention, their young talent is a lot better too. They've got nice young talent.
They got Brandon Clark coming back too.
Gigi Jackson.
Really good.
Brandon Clark's back.
Are we agreeing with my point?
I wouldn't say number 1.
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't put them as number 1.
Regular season number 1.
I reckon they'll be a lock in the
OKC will be
playoffs.
number 1, I reckon.
I'm not saying a lock, but I'll buy you that.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I
don't agree, but that's it.
I think Ja will also. I think Ja's going to.
I think Ja will have a good season.
I feel like a Ja take is quite normal, pretty normal take. He was already an all-NBA player coming in before he got banned,
and he's got a point.
Yeah,
he does. Yeah.
So,
my question to you is: Do the Grizz get the number 1 seed over the Thunder?
yes.
Why do you think that?
The only reason why I think that is the Thunder are going to be an amazing team, and don't get me wrong, this is going to come down to a matter of a game or two like it did this season, right? So obviously nitpicking where it comes down to, but I just think OKC, as good as the fit is, it's still a new fit, right? It might take a little bit coming out of the gates, whereas the Grizz know their team, right? They've had a down season, but they know their team. There's nothing new about it. They're just getting guys healthy and back in the lineup. I think they'll start hotter out of the gates, and I think come back into the season, that'll pay off. Whereas Thunder might take a little bit because, you still got to put minutes to Caruso and Hartenstein. And some guys are going to have to take back some usage, some touches. They might have a couple losses early. That's the reason why I see it. I think they're definitely better than Denver in terms of a regular season team. They'll be better than Phoenix as a regular season team. I can't see anyone else competing for that top 2-3 outside of that. Not 2-3.
Okay.
Not 2-3.
Okay. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's a fair point. No, I buy that.
Yeah.
I buy that. That's fair enough. But what you're saying is Edey's going to be incorporated nice and quickly. Anyway.
That's true. Very, very
Daniel, you're next. You're next on our table.
So my positive predictions are Jokic, 4th MVP. He's going to do it. And then Detroit breaks into the play-in. I'm pretty high on that team. I think they look decent enough to get to that playing spot, especially in the East. And my bad take is the Lakers missed a play-in. Yeah.
Can I weigh on this one?
Yeah.
Last night I watched the Penrith Panthers win their 4th championship. I cannot stand someone winning a 4th in a row. Voter fatigue will come in.
yeah.
I don't want to see that storyline. He'll probably have an amazing season, but I
He probably
guarantee you, if LeBron can't win
4 MVPs
in a row, neither can he.
No, I feel like we're in an era, but past that voter fatigue of Jokic, where we're just appreciating his game, and I feel like there's a new appreciation for how impactful he is to the team.
Do you think the Nuggets will be good enough as a regular season team for him to get there?
But I feel like because they're not as good, he might ball out a little bit crazier in terms of points.
More
points per game. Well, he could score a couple more points.
I mean, he's almost single-handedly took down Team USA.
Yeah.
That's how good he is.
Fair.
He's like, I wouldn't doubt the guy. But I think because MVP is such a narrative-driven award, and as we all know it is, I feel like voter fatigue will actually set it.
Yeah.
I think this is the year it does.
I don't know. Like, we have 1 year of voter fatigue. I reckon, I feel like if he does have a better season somehow, if he's able to do more than he already does, like, he will win the 4th MVP.
But
like, he's so healthy as well. Like, he is going to have maybe at least 75 games.
Okay, let me ask you 2 questions after that then. Do you reckon the Nuggets will be in the top 3, finish in the top 3 in the West?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think Jokic will have better stats than Luka?
I think so.
No.
I think so.
Statistically, I don't believe it. And if it's a no to those 2, I don't think he can win MVP.
Yeah.
If you think yes to both, I think then he could win.
Yeah, I just feel like Luka is he's blacklisted from NBA awards. Like the voters just don't like him for some reason. Like, I thought he should have won MVP last season, and he didn't.
Yeah.
He had a pretty damn good season last year.
I think that he has a real chance if the Mavericks have a better seed.
Yeah.
If they do, that's the thing. Like,
them coming 5th.
I think we talked a lot about in the offseason about how many players they lost in the offseason. Like, yeah, they added some pretty good players to help with the spacing and all that, but they lost some pretty crucial defensive pieces for their playoff run last year.
Yeah.
Luka isn't going to step up as a defender, and Klay Thompson is this. He's gone. He's not a defender anymore, He's
I agree.
Yeah. So I think that unless Luka can make it into the 3rd seed, he's not winning an MVP.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think the team is a lot better this year, but that's a whole different other conversation.
Yeah.
Mavericks wise.
Yeah,
I think they got some really under the radar pickups and I think Klay will be better in a different system. So that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
We can chat about that.
But I'd love to argue on that one.
Yeah.
Next part.
Next week. I'm intrigued. Detroit. Can you break that down a little bit?
Detroit.
Wait.
You didn't talk about Detroit.
Detroit making the plane.
Yeah, I said no.
I don't. Yeah, you got a part 2.
I don't know about
I did put a
but-
part 2. Look, I am pretty high on Kate Cunningham. I've been high on Jaden Ivey for a while.
Mhm.
I felt like if he could piece it together, at least his shooting, everything would open up for him. Tobias Harris as a floor spacer, in a reduced environment with less pressure, he might play better. He might tap into that magic era again where he just does whatever he wants. Malik Beasley, there's some decent floor spaces there. They're not fantastic, but with the way the East is looking, I can see how they can put it together and have the 10th spot and then lose in the play. I'm not saying they're gonna do well in the play. I feel like that is maybe a promising season coming up.
Look, I think with looking at the standings now, it was Philly, Miami, Chicago, and Atlanta in play-in. I think Atlanta have a lot to figure out in the season.
Yeah.
And so that leads to, the last spot of the play-in. And I wouldn't bet against Detroit, but you also have to take into consideration as the Raptors. And also the Wizards. Oh, sorry, not the Wizards, not the Wizards. The Hornets.
Hornets.
Oh, the
Hornets.
Hornets. See, the issue of the Hornets is that it all hinges on LaMelo Ball being healthy.
Yeah.
Bro, he has not had a healthy season at all.
Woo!
Woo, can't wait for him to get injured again.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just say quickly, before we go into other teams, on your Detroit, within,
Yeah.
just statistically, last season, they ranked bottom 4 in 3-point percentage, 3-pointers attempted. And 3-pointers made 3-pointers attempted and their percentage. They were in the bottom 4 for all of it.
Yeah.
They didn't add a single shooter outside of Tobias?
So
did that?
No, they added
Malik
Malik
Beasley.
Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris.
Do you see those
Yeah,
guys
They've got some
getting...
shooting now.
They've got some shooting, but do you see those guys getting the minutes over the rookies and the youth that they have? Right?
Oh, 100%. The rookies have not really shown as much promise or at least stability in terms of performance compared to those two.
The team has to be better this year.
Yeah,
I agree.
They play the vets for stability
Yeah.
because the
rookies
the-
will have that
the young
time.
guys did like well they were awful last year. You know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think they have to.
They've just got a log jam at those like 1, 2, 3 spots with rookies.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Like Asara's going to get no minutes.
Yes.
Like, he
Yeah.
will probably be out of rotations because he just can't shoot.
He's also
So-
he's also recovering from injury. He's got blood clots still.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, I haven't
From
heard
last
anything
season,
from
so-
him. Yeah.
Who's that rookie again this year?
Ron Holland.
Ron Holland,
the
yeah.
second.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Two of them.
Not mistaken for the
Okay, thank you, Dan. That's a good breakdown of your point. I'm not sure I'm drinking that Kool-Aid, but I get you.
He's got one that I do agree on there.
Oh, Lakers missing the play-in?
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't miss the playing entirely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That conference is so competitive.
Yeah.
So
Like,
tough.
and they haven't really changed that much. Like the main thing they changed is probably like JJ Redick coming in.
Yeah.
That's the only big move they made. Like the Ultra Connects isn't going to do that.
You also have to remember, I think they were missing Jared Vanderbilt last season. I think he's coming back
Yeah.
pretty
They're also missing a coach.
missing a coach.
Yeah.
missing a coach.
Yeah,
and
and
Jared Vanderbilt.
and Jared Vanderbilt. Look, this is the same team that took
Denver.
Denver to the
That's
conference
so.
finals. You know, like this is
I don't think Dan's arguing that they're not a
Good team. Yeah.
good team.
yeah.
I just don't think they've got a good regular season in them with LeBron and AD being testing their longevity.
There's a lot to account for as well. Like JJ Redick's first year coaching. He's
Yeah.
like, we'll say that he's a coach now. Like there's nothing to really prove from that.
Yeah.
He hasn't done the usual route of starting in college and coaching up, or like starting as an assistant coach and coaching up. He's straight into a head coaching position. We don't know how much, LeBron has,
Left in the tank.
left in the tank, and we don't know how much like LeBron has vouched for him as a coach. We don't know whether he's just having JJ Redick there as like a figurehead
Yeah.
for him to speak through.
Doesn't have a great record with first sheet coaches.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Like, so
Flat.
it's a lot to consider for them, and
Yep.
I just not sure whether they're ready to make the play-in.
That's fair.
It's wild.
I'm a certified JJ Redick glazer, and I really like
the LeBron glance.
I think the guy has a plan, whether or not it works. I
Yeah.
think he'll extract more out of
Yeah.
the pieces the team has than
Dem-
obviously
dem-
what
Dom-
Mr. Ham was doing.
yeah.
Mr. Bacon now.
Yeah, look, I saw the game. It looks good. Like what he's doing looks good. It's just like it's a bit clunky in terms of the plays running it. Like at least like the first game I saw where they were doing like they always did like a double guard handoff. And it's like it looks good, but like you could tell players like the defending players started picking up on it. So it just led to a couple like turnovers, and they got a little bit flustered. And then from there, they will like fill up the elbow.
Was that the first preseason game? Or?
The first
That's not
preseason
the
game.
game.
Yeah. Like they'll fill up the elbow, and then they'll try and like figure it out from there.
Mhm.
I have not watched the highlights from today's game,
Yeah.
but like it looks like there's some things to figure out. I'm not sure whether LeBron and AD are going to buy into that kind of movement. Like whether LeBron would sometimes just want to like go default to his usual pick and roll and barrel in. There's a lot.
Stand when he's off ball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's yeah, a lot to figure out.
It's a loaded West, and they came 8th last year.
Yeah.
But they were 47-35 with no coach. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, but
I
the
mean-
roster hasn't changed that much.
No, it hasn't.
They dropped 2 wins and they're out.
I think Connect has an impact right away. Because he was a 4-year guy.
He was a 4-year guy. He dropped
so he's-
16 in his preseason game.
Yeah,
Like,
he's NBA ready. So like they needed shooting, and I think he's pretty
Yeah.
good. He's pretty good.
I think it also depends, like how much they.
Clutching at straws. He's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I hope they don't overplay it.
Such at the bottom of the barrel.
I swear if they overplay Bronny, then they're screwed. They're definitely out of the playoffs. Like,
Hey, but Max Christie looks more ready.
he does.
He does look more
look
ready.
good. He does look good.
Clutching at all the straws.
Like people LeBron can't miss the play-in.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on to the next point. David's point.
David.
Yeah. So for my good prediction for the season, I've got Luka winning an MVP. Kind of piggybacking off Jokic's point, Daniel's point on Jokic winning the 4th MVP. I just think this season, again, like voters fatigue, MVP is always going to be a storyline vote. And much to Denal's point, I really do agree the Mavs is a better team this season than they were last season. And because they're going to have this better standing in the West, I reckon the spotlight will be on Luka, who's already proven that he can perform at like an incredible level, dropping like 60-point triple doubles and stuff. Another season together with Kyrie, the additions of PJ Washington, Dan Gafford, and then the off-season of improvement for Derek Lively. I just think the team comes back better. And having someone like Klay Thompson, who actually, despite him having like a down year last season, he actually shot 39% from three and averaged 18 points per game in a very repeatable and standard role that he can, continue, building up. It's very scalable,
Yeah.
And playing next to Luka, I think Luka's spacing will be so much better. His ability to find those like cross-court passes to Klay Thompson, I think that's going to be amazing. So yeah, I'm really buying into that one.
Yeah. Just want to add to that too. I saw the top 100 assists for I saw the bottom 30 was all Luka.
Just that good.
They're about insane passes, but keep going.
I think the only thing that's probably holding him back is his health. He hasn't been able to play like a full season in a long time, I think. So if he's able to stay healthy,
I mean, all you need is 60.
60, yeah.
65?
65,
65,
yeah. That's all you need.
So putting my bets on that one. Yeah.
I love it. I'd love to say I have seen Klay Thompson putting in the work every single day since the season has ended. Yeah. And I'd like to think that he's coming into this season where, like you said, he doesn't have the same responsibility that he did on the Warriors. Like there was an expectation on the Warriors for him to be the second option, but he's not ready to be that anymore, I don't think. But you turn him into a kick-out threat to Luka and Kyrie, and like the guy can shoot with anybody in his face.
Yeah. I don't know.
Add that to any team, and I just think that they're going to be really good.
I reckon you have to bet on the person, and I think Klay Thompson's shown like he was a bit disgruntled last season, but that's because he wants to win so bad. He's that kind of competitor.
But I don't know. My thing is that you said he was expected by the organization to be a second option, but it didn't seem like it. It seemed like that was his own expectation, and the team was trying to transition him out of it, and he didn't want to. So
it was him.
My only thing is that, once he gets the ball in the Mavericks, is he just going to be that spot-up shooter? Like, is he convinced to do that, or is he trying to be a shot creator again? Because, I'm seeing his training clips, and it's still him trying to take, contested pull-up middies and stuff. Usually, from what I've seen in off-seasons for, professional spot-up shooters, it's all spot-up shoot. You're not doing anything more than that. You're just making sure you're elite and uber efficient from that spot. Again, he's already an elite shooter, but,
Not to get too much into Klay and the Mavs, because, again, I do agree with you that, again, I'm not sure about the fit with Klay and all that, but on the Luka point, I can see the MVP season as, it's about time that he gets acknowledged for what he does.
Yeah.
Right? Because to think that Luka right now doesn't have an MVP is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's I don't even think his team record has to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is sort of on the lines of a Russ, a Harden, where their team isn't number one, number two, but he is that polarizing that he just needs to get an MVP.
Yeah.
And I think that will be the narrative that'll be pushed all season. We talked about, I think he does end up getting it this season. I think his biggest rival this season will be someone completely out of the box. I don't think it'll be a Jokic. I don't think it'll be a Giannis or an Embiid.
Shea or
Ja.
I reckon it's going to be Tatum. Tatum seems to be that USA star they're trying to push. And I feel like you guys have all seen that USA agenda in the NBA trying to
No, I think they've gone off Tatum. It's Edwards now.
It might be Edwards.
Tatum is no longer the face of USA basketball. It's Edwards.
Cringed his way out of the spot.
He's gone. Tatum is in a bit of trouble in that aspect.
Yeah. But it's going to be some American star. I don't think it's going to be Shea. It might be Edwards.
I think it'll be Ja or Edwards that'll be pushed with him, but I think it's Luka has to get one now.
Yeah.
If he has a remotely similar season to this year, Luka will get it.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
True.
And you're bad as well.
Oh, and my bad. Yeah. So I have Clippers dropping to the play-in. They finished, I think, 4th seed last season. 51 and 31.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Which is a significant gap between the 3rd seed, which was 5 games separate. There's 5 games difference, So with the Clippers, I'm sure we all know, losing Paul George this season meant to be the Warriors, but they didn't want to trade him with the Warriors. Another topic entirely. No, another topic, another day.
It's still raw.
It's still a raw. It's still a little tough. And then they also lose Russell Westbrook, who is, for lack of a better term, he was a six man. He was an incredible six man, a player of his stature, his caliber, his experience coming off the bench, and just kind of doing his do it all play style. Yeah, you're kind of losing that. And who do you replace him with? You replace him with an immature Kevin Porter Jr., Joshua Primo, who I assume
is he still back?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on the team.
Oh my goodness,
Joshua Primo.
Joshua Premed these nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Showcase himself.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And you have Bones Highland, who, if you don't remember, he was the guy who forced himself out of Nuggets because he thought he should be playing over Jamal Murray or something. So, yeah, I think as a team, and also, like, you have Kawhi as your kind of leader. And from what I understand, Kawhi's not the most vocal leader. He's the guy to say the right thing. And I think to your point earlier in the media day, he didn't inspire leadership.
He did, yeah.
So,
even his comments on like Paul George leaving, it was just like, oh yeah, it was so like as if he didn't care about it. It just kind of shows how connected he is with the team. From my perspective, it's like he's not actually involved in team chemistry building exercises and all that.
I fully agree with the point. Again, could be another team that slides out of the playoffs altogether. All the stuff that came out of media day was not promising. From him saying he'll do his best to be available. On
yeah.
Oh my goodness, insane to say.
Yeah. Just got an extension too.
Yeah. Norman Powell coming out and saying that it could be a addition by subtraction, losing Paul George.
Yeah.
A lot of things that a team that's going into a brand new stadium that they want to advertise like crazy should not be saying. And I just feel bad for them. It's going to be Harden and a bunch of role players from Mexico.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah. It takes pretty accurate. Like, I don't know, Harden. I think if Kawhi's out.
Did you hear Harden's quote?
Oh, yeah. I was one of the guys that NBA had to adapt to.
Yeah. Next season, I should probably have the ball in my hand more.
It's a fair point. Like, who else is going to get the ball?
Wrong. He's not.
He's only dribbling the air.
Who are you going to give?
At that age, that's not the same Harden we had in Houston.
Okay, no, but I feel like
he looks close enough though. I don't know if you've watched a preseason game.
My only thing, the preseason looked good.
He had like 2 4 points.
He looked good, man.
Like,
he's looking a couple pounds down, which whenever Harden does that is usually a good sign.
Yeah.
Like, he's also 5 seasons removed from the hamstring injury that made him look old. Like, 4 or 5 years away from an injury is pretty good. Like, he's still an elite athlete. He's taking care of his body, and he's not gonna.
Who would you rather have the ball in this team?
Yeah, literally. I want Trey Man with the ball. Like, Terrence Man.
But that's the thing, right? That's how shallow they are. They have literally have. It's if Kawhi's not going to be ready at the start of the season. It's going to be James Harden ball 24/7. Is it just going to be another like Rocket scenario?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Actually,
it
feels
does,
actually worse. Zubac should be like Capella from back in the day.
Yeah,
So you know what? I'm really keen to see James Harden and Kai Jones connect on an alley. I feel like that is the only lob threat for James Harden on that team, and the only reason he had like those triple doubles in Houston was because he had a Capella. So Kai Jones is just another Capella, like probably more athletic.
We're saying names and we really should. Kai Jones, Kevin Porter Jr.
That's the
Island, like, my God.
It's the region. It's like the
Primo.
region.
It's literally.
Oh god.
It's like, why do you have all these players
that should be out of the league team? You know?
I think it's kind of worse, especially because they're sharing a city as well. So like it means a lot.
They're in LA. They're all in LA.
All in LA. It's like, bro,
in the jungle.
Like, you're not winning that competition at all.
You're not even going to go watch them.
Well, I'll wrap up my point with like I just don't think they have the leadership in the locker room and the personalities to make a winning team. And to add, PJ Tucker's also stepping away from the team. Forgot to bring that up. He's stepping away from the team to kind of figure out their future together. So he's not even going to be playing for them. So then you lose another veteran presence in the room, and I just feel like it's just
they treat him pretty bad.
They did treat him pretty bad.
So bad. But again, like, how much does he actually add to winning? Let's be honest.
I think he's a pretty.
Like,
you would want him on the court, Eric.
I don't know.
I would want him on the court.
Like, he's a dog defender, but like
he just has to make his corner threes, and he stopped getting out. Which kind of played him off the court. But
yeah, exactly.
Probably wouldn't want him on the court, but he is so close with Harden that if he wants to step away, it probably just shows that he has no faith in
Yeah.
the whole team.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. He's like, 39 now. He probably wants to win a ring.
Yeah.
Um,
I just want a better contract.
Join the Lakers. Anyway,
Anyway.
your point.
All right, on to me. My prediction for the good of the season. I'm entering the Phoenix Hope Core.
Could be a trade.
I'm really hoping that, look, I'm a big believer in Coach Bud. And Coach Bud coming into Phoenix, giving him a real point guard, Tyus Jones. I'm putting a lot of pressure on Tyus Jones, but I really think you allow Devin Booker and KD and Bradley Beal to come off the ball again. There's some hope there. I have hope. I have hope that they'll at least be, they'll look scary at points. As long as they stay healthy. That's the biggest what if about that entire team. They have some supporting cast now. I'm not going to name the names because they're irrelevant, but there's a supporting cast of sorts. Look, a top four seed is like my hope core case for them.
Yeah.
And then with the bad, I think the Pelicans are gonna just look trash. I didn't like the fit of DeJounte Murray on the team, and so I've got to sit and say that they're gonna have a bad season. The front office is gonna have to look at themselves and say, we need to swallow a pill and make a very hard decision, and they need to do something drastic. And so I think the Pelicans don't finish the season without doing something drastic, whether that's front office firings. David Griffin's gotta go. Anyway, that's my predictions. Thoughts.
Okay, Phoenix.
Okay, with the
Okay.
Phoenix one, I don't agree with the fourth seed, but obviously you're also just like best, like
Best
ideal case scenario fourth
Yes.
seed. I am very high on them adding Tyus Jones. He's one of the best like pass first point guards in the league right now. It's like
Yeah.
great 3-point shooter, great off ball mover, great passer. I've never mentioned that. Let the league
Assist to turnover.
exactly
ratio.
let the league
Wow.
so many years for assist to turnover ratio. Like that is talent, and I think he's just been so underrated for such a long time. I think in a row with Phoenix, he will get probably more publicity for how good he is as a point guard.
Yeah.
Because he's playing against 3 stars who have their own gravity in terms of media.
Yeah. This will be his first winning team too.
He doesn't
Yeah.
get Grizzlies.
Oh yeah, he played.
Yeah,
he just played-
That's a backup point guard. Though.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like his first time like actually like starting for a winning, potentially winning team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That my only thing is I don't know what the lineup's going to be like because I think look before the pod we say KD at the 4th
Mhm.
at the 4. But I don't know. I don't think he wants to play the 4.
Yeah.
I think he'll probably make a hissy fit about playing the 4, and then someone's going to take the short end of the stick. I think it's going to be Beal, but I'm not sure how much he'll buy into it. Like, you know, he's probably signed a no trade clause because he has a pretty big ego. So, like,
I agree with the point. I think Phoenix will be very good. Top 4, I can't buy into on that.
Sure.
But on the Tyus factor, like I don't think he's a certainty to get 32 plus minutes. Right?
Yeah.
Purely because in today's day, like a lot of teams are happy with their star guard to bring the ball up and initiate offense. Like you saw Book do it pretty well last season.
yeah.
They didn't have a bad record. They were pretty decent in the West,
Still making
right?
playoffs,
And it still works, right? And at the end of the day, you're going to listen to your star players more. If KD goes, hey, I don't want to play the 4 very often, bye, Tyus. We're going to put a bigger defender somewhere in there and put another big guy next to Nurk or something like that. Like, I don't think he's guaranteed. He'll definitely play a lot of minutes, but I can't see, like, there will be nights where he has 20 minutes. Just because they don't have, between their 1, 2, and 3, if you do start Booker and Beal,
Yeah.
where's the defender? Who's guarding anyone on the perimeter? You can't ask Book to do, Olympic Book all
Yeah.
season long. He'll do it in spurts, but he's not going to do it all season. So you need a defender, and you've got a lot of guys that'll handle the ball. So Tyus is a great addition, but the team is based on those 3 guys, and if those 3 guys have a healthy season, no matter where they play, they'll have a decent record. I buy it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And Pelicans, any you guys thought?
I think it's
David Griffin's neck, please.
Yeah. I think they've done a good job on compiling assets. Like that's pretty crazy what they've done.
Yeah.
Well, Pelicans, a small market
Small
team.
market,
Yes.
yeah.
They have good pieces together. I think it's just how are they going to fit together, and that's for Willie Green to figure out. But like what Kevan's saying, like Brandon Ingram has to go somewhere. Like he is such an odd man out in that team.
Yeah.
That guy doesn't shoot threes willingly. He doesn't catch a shoot. He just wants to dribble in the mid-range and shoot. And on a team like featuring Zion, featuring DeJounte Murray, and I'm pretty sure DeJounte Murray is like most of his shots are mid-ranges anyway.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like how are you going to fit that together? And from what I've like read and what I've seen, they're nowhere close to looking for a trade and finding a trade. So the best case scenario looks to me that they're going to start the season like this, and someone's going to be the odd man out. And
I don't think they're not looking. I think they're actively looking. I just don't think there is a suitor or a buyer for Ingram at the moment.
Yeah. Start a buzz in the rumor mill.
Pelicans might be asking for too much, but like there just isn't a team because they're looking for a center, and the obvious one is obviously Fuchs.
yeah,
I think the Bulls are happy with what they got, and they want to keep rolling through. They like Vucevic clearly, and I can't see what other team. The only team that I can see maybe a little bit down the line is Portland because of their 3 centers. Maybe they flip Rob Will or something towards them. But you're right, they're going to be stuck with him. I think it's a bit harsh to say they're trash and something has to happen drastically. I think you just bench Ingram, to be honest. I think you bench Ingram and
just absolutely tank his trade value.
I mean, look, what trade value does he have if no one wants him right now?
I mean, he might play better off the bench.
I think that'd be hard for his ego to take.
But I think for the team, you have no brainers in either Herb Jones or Trey Murphy has to start. Like it's a given with that team. There's no defenders, like bona fide defenders without those two. Right? CJ might go to the bench.
Yeah.
But again, it's
I'd hope not.
Yeah.
I need the shooting on the team.
Exactly. Yeah. So you need CJ, you need DeJounte, you need Zion.
Definitely has Zion up there.
You're gonna need a center.
I just don't know what fixes this team. You know, like it's not.
There's no
easy. There's no like. Especially, I think DeJounte makes things a bit more cloudy. Yeah. Yes, they needed a point guard, maybe, arguably. I don't know. But like,
they
probably needed one that could shoot. So.
Yeah.
The issue for the Pelicans to me is that they don't actually have a target that they're looking for. Yeah. They're just seeing who would take it.
Get them
they don't have a target. Like even here, the 4 of us, I don't think we could name one player that they have to get or would work perfect.
They need to offload Ingram for pieces.
And it's hard to do that right now with the agents and all that.
And another thing to know is that he wants an extension as well. Ingram that's the contract. He wants a massive extension.
No team wants to trade for a rental.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You have to trade to a team that wants expirings, and then I don't know.
Figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know. Depends what he would get on the market. I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole different argument.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Those are our predictions.
Yep.
Moving on. Our dear sweet Pookie, DRose has retired.
Finally calling quits.
Yeah, he sent out a ominous video.
That was a cool video.
It was a very cool video.
I thought he was doing something cool. Yeah. I was like, I wonder what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I love playing basketball.
And announced his retirement the very next day after the video came out. We've spoken about Derrick Rose on this pod before. I am. I have to say that Derrick Rose means a lot to me because he's one of the reasons why I became a fan of the NBA. A Bulls fan at the very start of my NBA watching career. Derrick Rose was something very special because he was doing things on the court that no one else has done or really has ever done since then. Youngest ever MVP, just absolutely would do unbelievable things on a nightly basis and played winning basketball. So,
for the most part,
yeah.
For the most part.
When he was, healthy, winning basketball.
Yeah. Fellas, opening up to some thoughts.
Well,
thoughts of moments.
The day of his retirement, I did sink in like 2 hours of TikTok, just looking up Derrick Rose. Sad clips, just memories,
the cry tape,
the cry tapes, all this like sad songs next to his mixtape. I was just sad, just like I couldn't believe it. Like I thought that he was moving away from Memphis to get signed to a team that was ready to win. Was it Memphis? No, Memphis.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe he wants a bigger role or something, just something more out of his career. I didn't realize it was him calling it quits. Yeah, I was very sad. 2 hours, just multiple days afterwards. Yeah,
I was annoyed the Bulls didn't sign him for like a 10-day retire. That would have been a nice touch.
That would have.
But I think he was.
But they're a poverty organization, as well.
I think he was mentally not ready to keep playing.
Yeah. No, but it's like
he doesn't have to play. Yeah, you get signed by them and then you retire.
Okay,
and he doesn't have to take part in it.
Yeah,
just gets a paycheck and bounces.
That's it. Yeah, pretty much. But personally, obviously loved DRose growing up. Bought most of his shoes. Cost me most of my knees. But I think he just inspired a whole generation of players.
Yeah.
And it is frustrating that it wasn't longer. I think he is our modern day version of your Grant Hills, your
What
T
if?
Max, the what ifs. I
Probably
think
the biggest what
the
if.
biggest what if for sure. He was your Westbrook before Westbrook. He was your Jar before Jar. So he did like pave the way for a lot of guys, and I'm glad that he's talked in the Hall of Fame discussions.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's out there.
Do you have a favorite moment?
I got two in mind. Both are game winners and both games that I watched live. The second of the two was the game against Cleveland, where he comes off that screen up top, whacks a three, and then he's got this like he's being lifted, and he's got like the stoic, no emotion face. Beautiful memory. And then the other one was the one on the Bucks.
That was so glad you mentioned that.
Between the legs, step back, going left. His body was literally vertical to the ground. It felt just like whacked it on Brandon Jennings.
And the little
that was definitely my favorite memory.
Beautiful memory. Like those two stick in my head. Like most game winners don't even stick in my head, but those two are just like so imprinted. Both watched them live. I remember the Bucks one was literally on Channel 10 when I got back from school.
That's crazy.
Oh, really?
That's like there was game time back on Channel 10. This was like year 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Came home, put it on. It was like 3:30, and there was like 5 minutes left in the Bucks game. Just watching it casually. Boom, boom, tracked it. Really good.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because I spent countless hours of my childhood recreating that shot. The whole reason why I have a crossover to step back, like in a hard step back, is because of that. Like I watched it live as well. And it just was so imprinted in my brain. It's like my most favorite Derrick Rose memory. Do you have a favorite moment? Any thoughts coming up for DRose?
I gotta say, my favorite moment from DRose, I can't remember if I watched this game live, but I was like in high school, and back in high school, you only had like 20 megs max of data or something. And so that was a game going on. So I was watching it, like the highlights or something. And he did this insane pass to, I think, Joakim Noah, where he was in the air. He jumped up, faked it in the air and clocked it back and passed it to him. And I just remember looking at that. I was just like, how the hell did you do that? I went to the courts at lunchtime, tried to replicate it. I swear I like pulled my back or something trying to do that because it was absolutely insane. He was in the air. He double clutched it and passed it away. I know it's not like a massive moment, but I just remembered that. And I was like, wow, like, this guy is absolutely insane. That feat of athleticism to be able to do that. And that was after his injury too.
That was his first season back, I think, post MCL tear.
ACL was in that one.
ACL, yes.
It was after that one. It was his late in his Bulls career.
I just can't, like, I think, I don't really have a favorite moment. I think I'm just in awe at the reaction time and this speed he would cross over at. Just, like, I can't even imagine trying to be a defender on him. Like, recently we played my, not semis, but like, the game before my semis, and I did something to my knee because someone did something just a fraction of what Derrick Rose did, where I bit on a crossover and he crossed back the other way immediately, and I felt my knee just give and just like crackle, and I was like, wow, like, Derrick and I just the way Derrick Rose would absolutely destroy his defenders by how fast he would like react and just change direction. Like, I'm just in awe. I just like really appreciate how he inspired a lot of people to handle the way they handle, because the way he did it was so just godly. It's just like people just want it to be like that.
I have two more moments to add. Kevon stole one of my moments. That moment was monumental for me, but I've subbed it in for something else. That's fine. My first moment was another game winner, or this game in general. This game was so special because it was a Christmas Day game. It was against Kobe. And DRose hit the go-ahead shot with like 5 odd seconds to go. It's a floater over Pau Gasol and like another defender as well. And it's just the patented like stop floater. Derrick Rose's floater game was incredibly nasty. It was almost like a jump hook at times. Anyway, it's one of those patented floaters. And it's such a fun memory for me because I got a Derrick Rose jersey. I have a full head-to-toe child edition of a Derrick Rose outfit. Like, jersey and shorts. And I was wearing it while watching that game. So it was like such a monumental moment for me, just cheering on, my boy Derrick Rose. Anyway, and then the second one is the oop. I don't remember which team it's against. It's not the Goran Dragic one, but it's the one where Ronnie Brewer throws it up, and
He
Stacey
dunks it on
he
Steve
just
Nash.
dunks it like he just gets
No.
up. It's a one hand throw.
Yeah,
down.
one hand. Yeah,
and
yeah,
he just
yeah.
floats. Like he just simply just floats to the ring, and Stacey King, who is an amazing, like the best Bulls commentator ever, like one of the best commentators ever. I just give me the hot sauce, just like that guy literally has the best like just reaction to that. He just Derrick Rose gets up.
And
it's
he was
such
mean
a-
about it too. It was like giving him
Yeah,
a
it was
squash to his
so
face.
mean.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
oh my
like,
god.
dude.
Derrick Rose had that aggression. I have a question for you guys because this conversation came up after his retirement. Who do you think was more explosive, Russell Westbrook or Derrick Rose?
Oh, mine's Derrick Rose.
Mhm.
I think Derrick Rose for me was a lot more like John Morant in the way he would challenge people at the rim.
Mhm.
Like Russell Westbrook wasn't really like that. Like Russell Westbrook had like the full court run up to when like he would throw it down, but Derrick Rose is like half court setting, just up,
Yeah.
straight down on you. You know?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it depends on your definition of explosive. Because I think Russ will hurt you on a dunk, whereas Rose will just go over you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's a completely different way of being explosive.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's whatever floats your boat, really.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Russ is more painful.
I think
Anger and
I had to say that it was Russ for me
Yeah.
as well because he was angry, and it was like if you say the word explosive, like
That just
Russ
means,
is
like,
just like he's going to blow up on
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
Really?
But Derrick Rose is
Derrick Rose,
bounce.
yeah,
Yeah.
bounce,
Yeah.
skill,
Okay,
like
fine. I
his
get what you're
skill,
saying,
his
yeah.
jelly, like he was unbelievable at finishing. Like Derrick
Yeah.
Rose's finishing package was like no
Incredible.
other.
The way he would go from a dunk to like
yeah,
underneath you, just insane.
insane.
I think a tougher conversation would be Rose and Ja.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think that's what's the more explosive.
I reckon it's still Rose because Jar's like
I agree. It's Rose
Ja's
over Ja. Yeah.
yeah. Ja's long and
that's
Ja's
how he gets his posters.
Josh is
This
ambitious, dude. Like
Yeah.
you can see Ja doesn't see any issue with just trying to dunk it on someone.
Yeah.
And like, man. Yeah.
John's so slithery too.
He is.
That's his style. Like it's
Yeah.
very like slithery and like gets to the cup. And you don't expect him to take off, but he does.
I think
Yeah.
yeah.
Whereas DRose was just like speed, agility.
Yeah,
like,
you were just
you're going by. Like
I think also spacing's different now too. Like
That was-
D Rose
okay.
is like
Yeah.
clog the paint. He would jump
Yeah.
over everyone to get
Yeah.
a dunk through.
Yeah.
Like Ja is like once he's past his first defender,
Yeah.
like his primary defender, it's 1-on-1 with the big.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
so the Hall of Fame discussion for DRose, it has been lit up. It's been discussed like in the past few years, but it obviously got lit up a lot more after he retired.
Yeah.
We have two in the camp of yes and two in the camp of no.
So
Me
Yes.
and Kiv
I
in the camp.
I
of no.
definitely agree. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, the candle didn't burn for long, but it burned bright for when it mattered. I will say he did steal an MVP from LeBron, but we won't go there. He is a bona fide MVP, which I think is one of the hardest things to achieve in the NBA. Yes, it didn't last long, but from that short period of time, I think he still deserves to be an MVP. I can see why people would say no, but
Mhm.
nostalgia, the way he inspired a whole generation, he's still talked about to this day. Most players that have that short of a career in the spotlight would be forgotten by today.
Mhm.
I think that alone, that's my take for him being an MVP.
Youngest ever.
Youngest
as
ever.
well.
but in the Hall of Fame though.
Yeah.
I still think he deserves it just off that. I know it's not a whole lot to go off. Anything else you want to add?
There's nothing I need to
Yeah.
really add to that.
It's
A
just-
3-time All-Star, like you said, the flame was very short. And I think the biggest dampener on everything is that, he had a 16-year NBA career and the rest of it was really not memorable.
It's not, look, some of the stuff I would put on him, because some of the decision making in teams that he signed with was a bit questionable. Like,
Yeah,
surely you got, like, the Cavs were the
Cleveland,
only, but the Cavs were the only team that, like, even looked like they were going to go far. Like, the years in New York were horrible. The year in Memphis,
Yeah, in Detroit.
Detroit,
Yeah.
like,
Detroit.
like
I
the
don't even
Minnesota,
remember him playing.
Minnesota, he had a 50-piece, which was at least memorable, but
That was
like,
nuts. That was
Yeah,
It was
I forgot to
insane.
mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sobbed like a little
I
baby.
cried.
Yeah.
I cried. That was kind of sad.
but again, like he picked bottom of the barrel teams for most of his career. So it does frustrate me that he's played 16 seasons and
hasn't got
couldn't find a team that even went deep into a playoff run.
yeah.
yeah.
Could have. Yeah.
Yeah. Going into the no argument, I think we did discuss that a little bit before the pod, but I feel like we are all in this like sort of common ground of like he potentially will get in there just based off, what's gotten in there in the past.
Yeah.
But
Does he deserve it? So you
Uh,
tell us
like-
why he doesn't.
I think statistically, he doesn't get
Yeah.
there to go in. Like, I'll look up this. He's number 248 all time in points 5 points ahead of Goran Dragic, 85 away from Nick Van Exel. He's we don't care about rebounds, it's all right. He's a guard. So he's 147 all-time in assists and 574 all-time in steals, which is one steal ahead of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's only played 7 seasons, and one away from Anderson Varejao.
Jesus.
So based on that kind of thing, and if you compare similar players that are actually already in the Hall of Fame, so for example, Mo Cheeks is the closest example I could get to Derrick Rose. He's also a guard. But Maurice Cheeks, he was a renowned leader in a basketball statistics. So when he retired, he was actually the first in steals and second and third all-time in assists. He was also only a 5-time All-Star, I believe. Oh man, I don't even have that here. Oh, but his All-Star selections and All-NBA selections were quite equivalent to Rose. And so, do I think Derrick Rose should make it into Hall of Fame? Yes, based on just the overall impact he's had on basketball. Because you got to remember that Hall of Fame is a basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And like he's, like you guys said, inspired a generation of players. And I think he will get in, not as a first ballot, maybe in a couple years time, maybe. But it won't be because of statistical merit.
Yeah.
Even though he's had an...
Do we have any info on college and US?
Oh yeah. No real college achievements in terms of like.
I thought it was good.
No, he was good. He was good. He had like individual player achievement, but again, a lot of the NCAA college Hall of Fame elections are because you won the NCAA.
Yeah.
Or you were so dominant to the point where you just have to be a part of it, like Bill Walton. You know.
No.
No.
Syracuse, he won a championship.
Who?
Melo.
Bill Walton. But
No. I'm saying like, sorry, continue. no. I was saying like accolades in college. Like,
oh, right, yeah. Melo, Melo would probably have a better argument than DRose.
That's what.
Yeah. So it kind of sucks. He was a beast in college, but not
anything USA. Did he win a?
He won one gold.
He won 2 FIBA medals.
Yeah. Yeah. No Olympic.
It wasn't even Olympics.
Every Olympics he was injured. Yeah. Especially like no one's gonna get him after that.
Yeah.
ACL, PCL, MCL, Yeah.
God damn, Derek.
Yeah. It was already a miracle that he was on that 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a big deal. It was a very big deal. Like Kyrie kind of won that whole thing for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Okay, fair enough.
This is rough.
Now,
this is rough for the yes.
Well, basically, it's like he gets in on the MVP or not. Like that's really
well.
Like if people value the MVP as
it's on the story. I think. I think people will look back and because I think like, on one that MVP says a lot, but like I think if you look at a Hall of Fame, where you have to look at the whole body of work that they put together, and like you said before, 3 years compared out of 15, that's like less than 20 of his seasons in the NBA that he actually did well.
Yeah.
And I feel like people like LaMarcus Aldridge, who actually has a 5-time All-NBA. Derrick Rose only has 1 All-NBA selection, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was LaMarcus Aldridge is a 5-time All-NBA, a 7-time All-Star. Would you put him in the Hall of Fame?
I think LaMarcus Aldridge makes it.
Yeah, but like that already sounds better than
exactly. And he's also a top 15 scoring.
Yeah.
And so
LaMarcus top 15.
Yeah, top 50.
Oh, I thought it was 15.
And so I just think Rose is not a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Yeah, not first ballot for sure.
Yeah.
Which
especially second.
Yeah. But when you look into it, it's kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think we would have a Derrick Rose like career that everyone would love if he didn't have Thibodeau as a coach.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so true, dude.
It's like 44 minutes a night.
To be fair, like
he was blowing out the 76ers that game.
Yeah.
And like,
why did he sign with Adidas?
God damn it,
At that point, Adidas did not have a good record. Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming were both with Adidas too. So was Brandon Roy.
Yeah. Far out.
Yeah.
John Wall's knees.
John Wall's knees? Yeah.
My knees?
Oh, my knees too, actually.
Yeah.
I rubbed on my patella tendon in my days.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. If you're hearing this Adidas, you got to fix your stuff.
Yeah, fix your stuff, man.
Hey, stop looking fire right now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind a sponsorship.
Harden Volume 8 would look real nice.
An AE1 would look really good right now.
On my feet, for real.
Moving on. We have fun to finish the podcast because we all love the fun. We all love the fun. If you made it this far, I know you've been waiting for the fun. So we have Daniel, please explain. I'm not seeing Journeyman before. What does this mean?
So I made a new game.
Okay.
Journeyman is a game based on just purely where players have been, and you have to try and make a guess based on those
nice.
those teams.
Okay, nice.
So do you want to start with Journeyman first and then go to trivia later?
Let's start with Jenny, man.
so-
Mate,
Ready?
you're Steve Harvey today.
Yeah,
I'm game master.
You're
game master.
I love being game master. Okay. First player. I feel like this one's pretty easy. All right.
Lucas Smith.
Good guess.
What was it again?
Sebastian Delpit.
It's back to Delpit. Okay.
Yeah.
This player went to the Pacers, Spurs, Raptors, and Clippers.
So current NBA player, so currently playing.
Currently playing Clippers.
Okay, so some of the Clippers. Go again, the four.
Mason, yeah. Yeah. So you kind of get it.
Faces to throw us off.
Yeah.
I like
Maybe
that.
that'll work.
I like that.
All right. So let's go 1 point to Denal.
Yeah.
Right.
Are we playing to like 3 or something?
So we'll play 6 cards, best of the 6.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Just don't get too
3
much.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try keep these to a minute.
Yeah, I
For
will.
obvious
So-
reasons.
Yeah.
Well, what? Magic, Thunder, Pacers, Kings.
And they're all current players.
All current players. Oh, at least for this one, current player.
What, PG?
Nope.
Not Magic.
Demontis bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
All right, this next one.
Magic? You got drafted by that.
He got
Yeah.
drafted by the Magic,
Magic.
got traded on draft day.
Yeah.
And the more you know. The more you know. See, this is an educational podcast
Yeah.
to our young HOH listeners.
Yeah.
You know?
If we made it this far.
That's far.
Just come on to shorts.
Yeah, obviously on the shorts.
Yeah.
76ers.
TikTok brains out there.
Next one. 76ers, Pelicans, Bucks, Celtics.
True holiday.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice. Nice. That's a good one.
That's quick. All right. This next one is Raptors, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Wizards.
You want to spell shoes?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, damn. Nice.
And
Yeah, you got it.
so badly.
JV.
I mean, if you get these next 2, it's all tied.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, here's all you know. We had
Okay.
2 each.
I think this way gets a little bit harder.
All right.
All right. So Clippers, Mavs, Knicks, Nets, Lakers, 76ers, and Nuggets.
Westbrook.
No.
No, fuck.
I'll go again. Clippers, Mavs, Knicks, Nets, Lakers, 76ers, and Nuggets.
What, Reggie?
No.
No. Who's-
Reggie's not on the
No,
Nuggets.
not
Yeah.
Blackman. Yeah, now. He's on the Nuggets right now. Jesus.
Ooh.
He is currently on the Nuggets.
DeAndre Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's
nice.
crazy.
That's good.
When did he play for the Knicks?
He was traded there for like
Yeah.
briefly,
Half the
and then like I
season.
traded again.
I
Yeah.
was like, no way did you.
Every single team was a part of
That's
this.
awesome.
So if you got traded for one day, you are in.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
on this
okay.
list.
Damn,
I like
yeah.
that. I like
Right.
that.
DJ
Okay,
was good.
last card.
What
Right,
is
so
Lakers?
David can tie it up.
Did I miss him on the Lakers?
Yeah.
Did he play a whole season for
Like, yeah, apparently.
Yeah, he did.
Random.
He did.
What the
Yeah, it's
hell?
so random.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, last one. Knicks, Nuggets, Clippers, Thunder, Hawks, Wizards, Pistons, Bucks.
Jeez.
This one's a really hard one.
Bucks.
Wait, sorry, if you say it again.
Knicks, Nuggets, Clippers, Thunder, Hawks, Wizards, Pistons, Bucks.
What?
Hawks, Wizards, Pistons.
Who's on the Bucks right now?
Not Bobby Portis, right?
No, not Bobby Portis.
Damn. This is a tough one.
Fit Connaughton's no.
Is Wesley Matthews still in the league?
He
Is it
is,
not? Is it
but
Wesley
not
Matthews?
Wesley Matthews. I believe he's playing.
Oh. Darrell Wright.
No.
No.
Sorry, go.
So Knicks, Nuggets, Clippers, Thunder, no, Hawks, Wizards, Pistons, Bucks.
Hawks, Wizards.
Gary Trent. No, he's
No.
that's right.
Who went from the
Okay,
Pistons
you guys.
to the Bucks?
Another. You have a. Yeah.
I can give you a hint.
Corey Johnson. No.
Okay, I'm gonna give the year he was drafted. Actually,
Lopez?
No, it's not.
not Lopez. Okay, let's see. He was drafted in. Let me try to find this.
How was it?
2008.
Yeah.
Middleton?
No,
No.
This
2000.
guy old.
Who's old?
he's old.
16.
Who went from Detroit as well?
It's not. Are you counting Pat Bev as a buck right now?
No,
No.
he's not a Buck right now.
No, he's not.
No,
This is like he's up to date. So I'm not.
He's on the roster.
He's on a roster.
He's been on the roster.
He's been on the roster.
Did he play last season?
He did play last season. Yes.
For the Bucks.
For the Bucks, no, I think he was
A Piston.
last season. He was a Piston. Yes, he was.
But they only had 3 signings this year.
Oh no, his latest. Yeah, no, he's still on the Bucks.
So when did he play? Did he play in the Bucks last year?
Oh wait, no, sorry, no.
This guy.
He was. I don't think he's on the Bucks right now. He is.
What?
Let me double check.
What?
Because the
He's-
Bucks had 3 signings this year. And
I think he was. He was not signed to the Bucks. He's still. He's on the Bucks. I don't want to give too much away.
So he played for the Bucks.
He played for the Bucks last season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
So he was signed the year before.
Okay.
Okay, I will give you. Actually, I'll give you that hint later on. It's fine.
Oh, 2008. George Hill.
No,
no,
George
no.
Hill. Okay,
That's a good guess.
I will give you his position:
Okay.
small forward, power forward.
Jay
Tony
Crowder.
Snell.
No,
Jay Crowder.
Browner. Jay
No.
Browner.
No.
How is it not Jay Crowder?
Crowder would have Celtics.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Who's this guy, bro?
all right. He was a first rounder, 6th overall.
Whoa.
Wow.
It wasn't like a scrub
It
either.
wasn't a bomb.
Shit
Yeah.
off the beat, man.
He was good. This guy was good. Actually, yeah.
Played last season.
Yeah, what the hell? This is actually killing us.
Okay,
From
he
the
is-
08 draft.
he's white.
Oh, no. I was going to say Pat Connaughton. It's not Pat.
Yeah.
What?
It's a white guy?
He's a white guy.
Robin Lopez.
No.
Far out.
It's constantly pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you this.
Wait. Let it simmer. Let that
Yeah,
simmer.
okay, I'll let that
simmer.
sink.
We can just cut this.
No,
Yeah, we'll cut this.
He says small forward, power forward. It's not.
No, there was 2 white guys that shot. Pat Connaughton and there was someone else.
And counting Brook Lopez.
There's actually
No, no, no,
three.
no, no, no.
Those 3 on the Knicks
Yeah.
team. Who could shoot? 3 white guys who could shoot.
Yeah, DiVincenzo was one at one point.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
he
think
went to
Beasley? No, he's not there anymore.
like actually played minutes for the Bucks. This guy.
Oh, played minutes for the Bucks?
Yeah.
like, no, not really.
What do you mean by that?
I'll give you his minute average for the Bucks.
Damn, freaking Carl Singler.
He played 35 games for the Bucks.
Far out.
Minutes played was point. Oh wait, no. Sorry, I was gonna say
Oh,
point.
Dave, you starting with a point.
9 minutes again.
What?
Yeah,
It got out there.
Yeah, this is
a decent playing time.
Yeah.
an NBA vet. Like this is
Yeah.
a vet. Like
Proper
this name's
vet.
gonna hit us, and I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, no, 100%. It's gonna hit you guys. Guys are gonna be like, how the hell did I not get that? Okay, I'll give you how long he played for each team.
damn, Luke Ridnour sounds
Okay.
bad.
Yeah.
For New York, he played 3 seasons.
Oh, come on, kid.
You
Then
know what going on?
yeah,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
yeah,
He was on there. He went to
God,
Wizards.
yeah. He was on the Wizards. Yeah, I said Hawks, Wizards, Pistons, Bucks.
Pistons?
Yeah, he wasn't a
He got signed to the Pistons and got traded to the Bucks.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
it. Far out.
Oh,
Danilo
Did you
Gallinari.
say Celtics? Still?
He
Gallo.
was not in the Celtics.
He was.
Was he?
He got signed to the Celtics.
Was he signed to the Celtics?
He
Oh,
was
must
signed
have
to the
missed it.
Celtics and he was injured.
No.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was a DNP.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not. It was not on the.
Gallo in the Pistons. When did he play?
Yeah.
Show me him in a Pistons jersey. That is nasty as hell. I did not know that.
Oh man.
Gallo.
He retired, did he?
We should have known.
No,
Knicks
no, I think he's
Nuggets.
still playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was gonna get
Knicks
it for the
Nuggets,
Nuggets.
yeah.
I was surprised he got it for the 3-year Knicks.
I was always going
Yeah.
for recent teams because
Me too. I didn't really think about that. But 08, Knicks Nuggets, that was
Yeah,
one of the biggest trades.
his Nuggets years were crazy.
Yeah, he
Crazy
was
good.
great.
Yeah,
Him,
it was
him on
so-
2K was nuts.
Oh my god,
I
yeah.
love him on
2K13. Oh my goodness.
I think he's a free agent still.
Is he?
Yeah.
On,
It's like
on Wiki,
100
it says
years old.
he's
Time up.
he's
he's so
36, man. He's really old.
Time up, Gallo.
Yeah, the
Good.
the
He had a
hint I
great-
was gonna
he had a
give
great
you-
career.
He had a great season.
Yeah. Oh man.
You're loved.
Did he not play in it? I feel like he played in FIBA.
He did.
Olympics, sorry.
He Oh, sorry. All right. We're back with trivia. So the game is I'll give you 4 players. You have to guess what's a common theme amongst the 4 players.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So this first card. So players are Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, and Joel Embiid.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is an easy card, by the way.
Played with someone.
James Harden.
uh,
James Harden.
Yes, play with someone. Is that your?
Yeah, that's my.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
Okay, nice. You just gave it to him.
It's on. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Couldn't think of the name.
Okay, this next player, Steph Curry. This one gets a little bit harder.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Steph Curry, Dirk Nowitzki, Paul George, and David Lee.
Wow.
It'd be a shooting percentage.
Harrison Barnes.
No.
Was it played with someone?
Are you gonna guess that?
Oh, jeez, okay.
Yeah, is it played with someone?
It is played with someone.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Fuck, he's so weird about that.
I can't just give out hints.
Yeah,
If
okay,
it's a
like
guess, it's a
some-
guess.
Probably needed that.
David
one.
Lee, you're looking at
David Lee, Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki,
Steph.
Paul George, Steph, and David Lee.
so who's someone that's really old that's played
What the heck?
with PG. It's
Stackhouse. Jerry
No.
Stackhouse.
That was wild. David West?
Livingston? No.
No.
That's a pretty good guess, though. I did not play Nowitzki.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, PG.
Did he not play?
No.
No, he didn't.
Monte Ellis.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
impressive.
Dirk
That's good.
Mavs.
All right. This next one, I believe, is. Okay.
That's good.
All right, cool. This one's another pretty easy one, but I think the player to guess is harder.
Okay.
All right. So this is another played with Joel Embiid, Blake Griffin, Bradley Beal, Kemba Walker.
Griffin.
Joel Embiid, Bradley Beal, Kemba Walker.
Is that 3?
No, yeah, I just said Blake Griffin.
Oh, Blake
So,
Griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A player they played with.
Player they played with.
Okay.
Andre Drummond.
No.
Campbell Walker is the choice.
Mm,
Yeah.
I feel like it's someone in Boston.
yeah, I think it was a Boston teammate.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this guy did play in Boston,
It's not how old.
but it's not.
That
Let me
was a
double
good
check.
guess because remember that one season?
Yeah.
Sixers?
Yeah. Oh, so they literally signed him just to get him away from.
This guy did not play in the Celtics.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
he was,
Kemba
so
was
he was a Hornet. then.
Was he Hornet or a Matt?
He was a 76er, a Detroit Piston,
Yeah.
a Wizard, and a Hornet.
Did he not play for the Knicks?
Huh? This guy?
Oh, sorry. I was talking about Kemba. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So he was a.
So go again with the teams.
He was a 76er,
Yeah.
Piston, Wizard, and Hornet.
In that order?
No, not in that order.
Oh, that
just
order, okay.
with who he played with.
Yeah, okay.
This is not his only team.
Current player?
He is a current player.
Kelly Ray.
No, that was a pretty good guess.
Wow, that's actually pretty good.
That was a good
Yeah,
guess.
that was good.
Yeah.
Who's someone trash? Through the trashest franchise.
Yeah.
Um,
These are only 4 of the other teams. he
Big
played.
name guy or no?
Middle name. Like, I'll give you this as like a standard solid role player.
Wait,
Nick
who-
Batum.
No.
No,
What are
that's
teams again?
Clippers.
So these are the teams he played for
Oh.
in this list.
Mm.
In this list only. 76ers, Detroit Pistons, Wizards, and Hornets.
And who were the players again? Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin, Joel Embiid, Bradley Beal, Kemba Walker.
So they played with Bradley Beal on the Wizards.
Who played on the fucking Hornets / Bobcats with Walker?
You guys want another hint?
Yeah, let's go.
He was a journeyman.
Wow, we couldn't tell you that.
Yeah.
Ish Smith.
Yeah.
Damn. He is the essential
No, those are only the
Journeyman
4 teams.
king.
that-
Oh,
No,
Ish
no.
Smith's
Okay.
crazy.
Oh, okay.
All
That's
right,
real.
I was playing with everyone. He's a
Yeah.
connecting glue between everyone. Every
Everyone's playing with
episode.
Ish Smith.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, this next one. All right, this one's, oh, no, I'll go a little bit easier. Go back to a little bit easier before we get to a really, really hard.
Hurry up.
All right. This one is Allen Iverson,
Oh.
Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Steph Curry.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Richard Jefferson.
No.
No. He was
Again, this is not-
serious.
Just players
Okay.
that has,
Okay.
yeah, this
So
is,
this is not
can't be
playing
anything
now.
under the sun related to basketball.
Oh, okay. Could be a certain percentage. Could be a.
Could be,
On the teams.
yeah, it could be
Yeah.
a team, could be stuff adjacent to like, endorsements or whatever.
Ooh.
No obscure endorsements like you're
All have no Under Armour deal.
no.
No.
LeBron?
Wait, dude.
LeBron?
Yes,
LeBron?
LeBron,
Shaq?
Shaq, yeah.
They all have MVPs.
That's true. They all have
Yeah.
MVPs.
So
So
half a point
what
for
else
that.
happens when you get an MVP?
You win. What?
They will won a championship.
No,
No, AI hasn't won
They don't
it.
go
Yeah,
hand in
Top
hand.
of the conference. They're
no,
Finals MVP.
no. What kind of endorsements do you get after an MVP?
A brand endorsement. I don't know.
Yeah,
the own shoe.
yeah,
Signature shoe.
no. But it's something to do with an exclusive for a product.
Yeah, exclusive brand. Like you know how like Shaq Gnosis and
2K related 2K covers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Far out. All 2K cover athletes.
Yeah.
Steph Curry didn't have his own 2K cover.
He was not, but that was my way of throwing you guys off. They like Steph Curry didn't really get his.
I was gonna say, I was like, no, no
What did he
way.
get it?
Huh? He was
He
shared
shared
with like
it.
AD and like Griffin. And
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
I was like,
I was a 3. Was it 2K?
yeah, it was
16.
13.
Oh.
Oh, 16. 16.
13 at KD.
Okay, 13. Okay.
Yeah. The team was another shared one with DRose, KD, and Blake.
That's
Yeah.
All right. This next card. This one is kind of the same level, but like, let's go back to more traditional stuff. Right. Dikembe Mutombo, rest in peace.
Rip.
Al Horford, Andre Iguodala, Draymond Green.
All played with?
No.
Oh. That's tradition. Um,
Andre Iguodala all had all defensive selections.
No, but that was a pretty good guess, though.
Yeah.
had a certain number of blocks.
No, but said a number of something.
Who?
Steals?
No.
Or defensive team selections?
No.
Oh.
Nothing to do with defense.
Name the players again.
Dikembe Mutombo,
Yeah.
Al Horford, Andre Iguodala, Draymond Green.
What the? How is it not defensive? Jesus.
I know. No, that's the
Certain number of something.
said a number of something.
That was played for 3 teams.
No.
Draymond's been away for
Nuh-uh.
High school, college, and then
Ejections?
No,
way.
that would be a good one. I like.
Dikembe ain't gonna inject it that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Oh, certain number of turnovers per season.
No.
Iggy.
Okay,
Is
Right.
it to do with regular season or playoffs?
regular season.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it is an entire body of work. This specific
Number.
number that they all share in common.
Is that like the top 4 in steals or blocks?
No, nothing to do with defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have another hint?
Okay, they're all stars. That is part of the requirement for this answer. The other hint is this is a career achievement.
Are they the only all-stars to average under 10 points?
No, that's it. Yeah, those might also bind them all together. But
Yeah.
no. Iguodala had like a couple 20-point, like
See,
15-point
yeah.
seasons as an all-star. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do they just have the same total number of also selections?
No. Okay, I'll give you the second last part of the answer. These guys all haven't achieved this specific achievement.
Then they haven't been all-star starters?
They haven't been on any first team
No.
or second team.
No, this is a single game achievement.
A single game achievement.
When Draymond's had triple double, so like
No. And he's had 30-point games.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Iggy's had.
none of them hit more than 3 threes in a game.
Oof.
They have all had more than 30 points.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then had 50-point games.
Close.
60-point game.
No.
It's like 40 points. Yeah, that's it.
way.
All stars haven't dropped 40 points.
Oh,
They went the wrong way, bro.
That's interesting. I would have thought Iggy, like.
No.
No, this is
Iggy-
crazy, right? So